cities away.
It's that time. It's time for another God of War review.
Here we go again.
Now, in hindsight, I probably should have just combined this game with Chains of Olympus because they're essentially the same. So this is going to be kind of a short review. Because honestly, at this point, I'm just getting sick of rehashing the same shit about the gameplay because it hasn't changed really since God of War 1. And the jump from Chains of Olympus to this probably has the least amount of changes so far. So let's just talk about what little is new. So the main new addition, there's a fire meter now, so you can imbue the blades with fire to break armor of enemies. And it's actually a pretty good addition, I think. So the magical items that are in the game, the Eye of Atlantis is pretty cool because you feel like fucking Palpatine while using it, but it's not that strong to be honest. So then the next item you get is the Scourge of Aranis, which is by far the most powerful in the game. It just summons an orb that shocks enemies for like 10 years. And really, if you want to win in this game, just spam this shit. And the final item was the Horn of Boreas, I think his name was? Boreas? Whatever the fuck his name was. I honestly forgot I had this one. So the second weapon Kratos has this time are the Arms of Sparta, which is a shield and a spear, and I think it's definitely the most versatile and the most unique we've had so far. Now, in melee combat, it's pretty standard, it's nothing special, but you do have the ability to throw spears in different ways, do a barrage of spears, a power throw, stuff like that, which makes it fun. I still prefer the Infinity Gauntlet from Chains of Olympus, however, but it was still a fun weapon to use. I mean, shit, besides that, besides new magical items, there's not a whole lot new. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But there's just not a whole lot for me to say in this review, and it's the same as the last, like, 3 games I've talked about. Now, compared to Chains of Olympus, the story here is a big step up, because it's not just beginning and end, it's throughout. There are a lot of varied locations to visit. You go to Atlantis, and you blow that fucking place up. We see Sparta, and we actually go to Sparta for, I think, the first time in the series. And overall, this story is just better because I think it's a lot more personal to Kratos. It's a lot of familial bond stuff. You know, Kratos' mother shows up. He's trying to find his long-lost brother who was kidnapped when they were children. And I think if there's anything to take away from this game, it is that out of all the spin-offs and prequels, this is, I think, the most necessary. And if you had to play one of them, play this one for sure. I think overall the plot is pretty good. It gets the job done. You have to remember, this is God of War before God of War 2018, so they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're just trying to give Kratos an excuse to kill thousands of people in each installment. And personally, I think compared to the last few games I played, they do a really good job at giving reason to why Kratos is just slaughtering all these people. However, I will say the weakest part of the story by far is the ending is pretty rushed and everything resolves too quickly. So I'm going to give a quick rating. I'm going to put it the same as Chains of Olympus, A tier, because honestly, even though the story is better, they're just so similar. It's like I'm just playing Chains of Olympus all over again. I feel like it's only fair if I give it the same rating. And if you're one of the 6 people who watched my Chains of Olympus review, then you know that I actually really did like the ending to that game. Okay, spoiler time. Click off now. Alright, so throughout the game, they hype up Deimos, Kratos' brother, and when we finally find him, he wants to beat the shit out of Kratos because Kratos let him get kidnapped while they were like 10. I don't know why Deimos would be mad at that. He's like, you're supposed to protect me. What the fuck you want little baby Kratos to do against goddamn Ares and Athena, bro? But just now I remembered when Kratos went into that one temple and got his ass beat by a little version of himself, it makes more sense. So we go into the hyped up boss battle that's not even all that, to be honest. Then Deimos is about to die from Thanatos, but Kratos saves him, and then they get all buddy-buddy. They're like, you know what? We are the ghost of Sparta. So then they go to fight Thanatos, and during the fight with Thanatos, we just met Deimos, by the way. He gets fucking murked.
Will not lose you again.
And then Kratos gets all, and he fucking kills Thanatos. So then Kratos carries up a mountain, buries him. Time for God of War 2. Bye-bye.